Aging. It's not just about the years we count. It's about the quiet battles no one sees. The mornings we wake up slower, the memories that slip away, the friends we no longer hear from. These are the struggles that shape us in ways we never imagined. As the days turn into years, our reflection in the mirror changes, but what lies beneath is far more profound than wrinkles or silver hair. Aging is a journey that demands courage, patience, and resilience. It is not only about what is lost, but also about what is gained. The wisdom carved by experiences, the strength built through hardships, and the perspective that only time can give. Though others may only see the surface, each of us carries unseen stories, silent struggles, and quiet victories that shape the very essence of who we are. Aging is not a decline. It is a transformation, a testament to survival, and a reminder that even in struggle, there is hidden strength waiting to be embraced. Most people only see the wrinkles, the gray hair, the slower steps. But what if I told you the real struggles of aging are invisible, yet they hold the secret to your deepest strength? Stay with me, because what you'll hear might completely change the way you see aging. Number 1, hidden physical difficulties. Sometimes our bodies don't obey like they used to. Climbing a single flight of stairs feels heavier. Reaching for a jar on the top shelf requires effort we once took for granted. These invisible struggles remind us of our patience, our resilience, and our courage. As we grow older, the body begins to whisper in ways it never did before. Tasks that were once effortless, like tying our shoes, carrying groceries, or bending to pick something up, can suddenly feel like mountains to climb. There is a quiet frustration that comes when our bodies move slower than our minds, when the strength we remember doesn't match the strength we feel today. These physical changes are rarely visible to others. People may not notice the careful way you rise from a chair or the extra time it takes to steady your balance before walking forward. Yet within these hidden struggles lies something powerful. Every step taken despite the stiffness, every chore completed despite the fatigue, becomes a silent act of bravery. Patience grows in those moments when you wait for your body to catch up with your spirit. Resilience takes root when you push through discomfort and keep moving forward, even when it's hard. And courage shines when you refuse to let these challenges define you, choosing instead to adapt, to endure, and to find new ways of living fully. In truth, these small, unseen struggles are not signs of weakness at all. They are daily victories. Each one is proof that strength doesn't only come from muscles or speed. It comes from the will to keep going, the grace to accept change, and the wisdom to see that every effort, no matter how small, is a triumph in itself. Number 2, loneliness and social loss. Aging can be lonely. Friends move on, loved ones pass away, and social circles shrink. Silence can be deafening. Yet in that quiet, we discover a deeper understanding of connection, empathy, and what it truly means to value the moments we share with others. As we grow older, many of us begin to notice how life naturally shifts. The friends who once filled our days with laughter may no longer be nearby. Some may have moved far away, others may no longer answer the phone, and some may have passed on. This reality creates an emptiness that is difficult to explain to those who haven't lived it. The gatherings that used to be effortless now require effort, planning, and sometimes courage to attend. Loneliness doesn't always arrive with loud announcements. It slips quietly into our daily lives. It may appear in the evenings when the house feels too quiet, or in the mornings when there's no one waiting at the breakfast table. For some, it's the absence of conversations that used to flow so naturally. For others, it's the stillness that replaces the chaos of raising children or caring for family. And yet, within this silence lies an opportunity for growth. We begin to see the true value of connection, not in the number of people around us, but in the depth of the relationships we still hold. A simple phone call, a shared story with a neighbor, or the smile of a grandchild can carry more meaning than a crowded room ever did. Loneliness teaches empathy. It allows us to understand the hidden struggles of others because we have walked through them ourselves. In these moments of solitude, many also discover themselves again. Hobbies that were once set aside return with new purpose. Reading, gardening, journaling, or even sitting quietly in reflection become ways to fill the silence with meaning. The loneliness, while painful, often transforms into a reminder of what really matters. The gift of presence, the warmth of companionship, and the wisdom to treasure every fleeting moment of connection we still have. Number 3, mental and emotional struggles. Our minds, too, face battles that are hidden from the world. Memories fade, plans change, and the pace of life keeps moving. Through these challenges, we learn acceptance, resilience, and the incredible strength that comes from embracing the present. The mind is one of the most beautiful gifts we carry through life, yet it too faces its own struggles with age. Sometimes we find ourselves walking into a room and forgetting why we came. Other times, a name that once came instantly to our lips suddenly slips away. These moments can feel frightening, even discouraging, as if pieces of our identity are slowly drifting out of reach. Plans that once seemed clear may no longer feel possible. Careers end, daily routines shift, and dreams we once chased with energy must often be reimagined. At the same time, the world outside seems to move faster than ever. Technology changes overnight, society races forward, and it can feel overwhelming to keep up. These invisible battles of the mind are often the hardest because they are deeply personal and rarely understood by others. Yet within these challenges lies a hidden strength. Forgetting a detail does not mean we lose wisdom. Slowing down does not mean we lose value. In fact, these experiences teach us patience with ourselves, acceptance of what cannot be controlled, and resilience to keep moving forward despite uncertainty. Living with a changing mind encourages us to focus on the present. Instead of worrying about what has slipped away or what lies too far ahead, we begin to appreciate the gift of now. The sound of laughter in the room, the feeling of sunshine on the skin, the joy of a shared meal. These simple experiences become anchors, grounding us in the beauty of the moment. Over time, these mental and emotional struggles shape us into stronger, more mindful individuals. They remind us that life is not about perfect memory or constant productivity. It is about presence, love, and the strength to find peace in who we are today. Number 4, rediscovering purpose. And yet, even amid struggle, we find purpose. Guiding the younger generation, creating something beautiful, or simply savoring the calm of a quiet day. Aging is not the end, it's transformation, a chance to turn hardship into wisdom and challenges into inner power. One of the most powerful gifts of aging is the ability to rediscover purpose. Life may no longer revolve around careers, raising children, or chasing ambitions, but that doesn't mean meaning is lost. In fact, for many, this season of life becomes a time of renewal, a chance to focus on what truly matters. Purpose often appears in simple, yet profound ways. It may be found in guiding the younger generation, sharing stories, life lessons, and wisdom that no book could ever teach. Grandchildren, neighbors, or even strangers can benefit from the quiet guidance of someone who has walked through decades of trials and triumphs. What may feel ordinary to you can be life-changing for them. Others find purpose through creativity. Painting, writing, crafting, or gardening are not just hobbies. They are acts of expression, ways of leaving behind pieces of the soul for others to see and cherish. For some, even the smallest daily routines, like caring for a pet, tending to plants, or volunteering in the community, become meaningful acts of contribution. And then, there is the purpose found in simply being. Sitting in the calm of a quiet morning, appreciating the beauty of a sunset, or listening to the sound of laughter in the distance. These moments remind us that we are still part of life's rhythm. Aging allows us to slow down enough to notice what was once overlooked. This stage of life is not about endings. It is transformation. Every hardship we've endured, every challenge we've overcome, reshapes into wisdom and strength. And with that wisdom comes a new kind of power, an inner power that no one can take away. Number 5, facing health uncertainty. Health can be unpredictable. A routine checkup may bring unexpected news, yet navigating these uncertainties teaches courage, careful choices, and a deeper appreciation for each healthy day we are given. As we age, health becomes one of the greatest uncertainties in life. What once felt effortless, walking, sleeping soundly, enjoying a meal, can suddenly feel different. A small ache in the morning, a prescription bottle on the nightstand, or a doctor's appointment circled on the calendar becomes part of our new reality. And sometimes even the most ordinary checkup can bring news that changes the rhythm of our days. These moments can stir fear, frustration, and sadness. It is never easy to face the limits of the body, especially when we remember how strong and independent we once were. Yet within these struggles lies an extraordinary opportunity to cultivate courage. Every choice we make, to eat better, to keep moving, to take rest when needed, is an act of strength and self-respect. Health challenges also teach us to live more mindfully. We learn to listen to our bodies in ways we never did before, pausing when we feel tired, moving gently instead of pushing too hard, and appreciating the gift of waking up each morning with another chance to experience life. Perhaps the greatest lesson is gratitude. Good health is no longer taken for granted. It becomes a treasure. A pain-free walk, a day without worry, the simple act of breathing deeply. These moments become reminders of the blessings we still carry. Unpredictable health may bring uncertainty, but it also shapes resilience. It encourages us to lean on others when needed, to embrace support without shame, and to find joy in the days when our bodies feel lighter and stronger. And through it all, we discover that while health may shape the course of our days, it does not define the strength of our spirit. Number 6, managing the loss of control. Aging often means letting go of control, of familiar routines, of expectations. This can feel frustrating, even frightening. But in learning to release what we cannot change, we find freedom, grace, and peace within ourselves. As we age, one of the most profound challenges we encounter is the gradual realization that we cannot control everything around us. In youth, life feels limitless. We drive where we want, work as long as we choose, and maintain a sense of command over our schedules and our bodies. But aging gently reminds us that some doors close with time, whether we want them to or not. This loss of control often shows up in subtle ways first. Perhaps it's no longer safe to drive at night, or climbing a ladder to fix something becomes risky. Over time, the limitations grow clearer. A doctor may suggest lifestyle changes. Our energy doesn't stretch as far as it once did. What was once simple now requires planning and adaptation. These changes, though natural, can stir feelings of frustration, even grief. For many, it feels like losing independence. The ability to decide freely without help, to live without asking for assistance, is deeply tied to our sense of dignity. So when we are forced to let go of certain routines, we may feel as if we are surrendering part of who we are. This internal conflict can be one of the most difficult battles of aging because it's invisible, often unspoken, yet deeply felt. And yet within this challenge lies an invitation to grow. Life has always demanded moments of surrender, even when we were younger. We surrendered childhood to become adults, surrendered certain dreams to build families or careers, and surrendered countless moments to circumstances beyond our control. Aging is simply another chapter in this lifelong lesson that letting go does not mean defeat, it can mean transformation. Learning to release control can lead us to unexpected peace. When we no longer exhaust ourselves fighting what cannot be changed, we open space for what can. Instead of clinging to the way things used to be, we learn to ask, what beauty, what possibility exists here and now? This perspective shifts the focus from loss to presence. Letting go also teaches humility. It reminds us that life was never meant to be lived in total command. Every human, no matter their age, eventually discovers that time, nature, and fate are far more powerful than our will. But in humility, there is wisdom. We begin to see that control was never the source of our worth. Our resilience, our love, our ability to adapt are far more enduring. Many elders find strength in redefining independence. Instead of seeing help as weakness, they begin to see it as connection. Allowing others to assist, whether it's family, friends, or caregivers, creates bonds of trust and love. Letting go of full control can actually deepen relationships, showing us that vulnerability can be a doorway to intimacy. Spiritually, the loss of control can awaken a deeper sense of surrender. For some, this means turning to faith. For others, it means embracing mindfulness or gratitude. The act of letting go becomes sacred. It becomes a way of saying, I trust life even when it does not bend to my will. This trust is powerful, for it frees us from fear and gives us the grace to face each day with acceptance. And in acceptance, we often discover hidden freedoms. When we no longer measure life by what we can control, we notice small joys more vividly. A flower blooming outside the window, the laughter of grandchildren, the comfort of a familiar chair. These moments remind us that even when some doors close, others remain wide open, waiting to be cherished. Ultimately, managing the loss of control is not about giving up. It is about learning to live differently, with wisdom, with patience, with grace. Aging strips away illusions, but leaves behind truth. That peace does not come from controlling every outcome, but from embracing the journey exactly as it unfolds. In this surrender, we find not weakness, but strength, the kind of strength that only comes from a life fully lived. Number 7, fighting against stigma and perceptions of others. Society often underestimates us as we grow older, but every time we rise above these judgments, we prove that wisdom, strength, and value are not measured by youth, but by the life we've lived and the lessons we carry. One of the silent battles of aging is the way society begins to look at us differently. The world often glorifies youth, speed, beauty, productivity, while overlooking the quiet strength of experience. It can feel painful when others assume that, because we are older, we are somehow less capable, less relevant, or less valuable. These perceptions often show up in subtle ways. A stranger speaking to us more slowly, as if we cannot understand, a younger colleague dismissing our ideas, or a family member assuming we cannot handle something we've done all our lives. These moments carry weight, not because they are true, but because they reveal how easily society forgets the worth of its elders. For many, this stigma can lead to feelings of invisibility. It is as though the richness of decades lived, the sacrifices, the triumphs, the wisdom hard-earned, is overshadowed by the simple fact of age. This invisibility is one of the unseen struggles of growing older, the sense that we are no longer fully seen. But aging also grants us the power to rise above these shallow judgments. With every year, we gather proof that life is not about outward appearances or fleeting achievements. It is about endurance, resilience, and character. Society may look at wrinkles and see weakness, but we know that each line holds a story, each scar holds a lesson, each year adds depth to the person we have become. When we push back against stigma, we remind the world of its blindness. A 70-year-old mentor guiding a young entrepreneur, an 80-year-old painter creating beauty from life experience, a grandparent teaching values to a new generation. These acts speak louder than prejudice. They prove that wisdom cannot be measured in speed or efficiency, but in impact. The truth is, society's judgments reveal more about its own fears than about aging itself. People often fear growing old, so they devalue those who already have. But when we carry ourselves with confidence, grace, and dignity, we become living proof that aging is not decline, it is evolution. We transform stigma into inspiration. Rising above perception does not mean ignoring the pain it causes. It means acknowledging it, but choosing not to let it define us. When someone underestimates us, we can respond not with anger, but with quiet strength. Every act of resilience, every display of patience, every refusal to be diminished chips away at society's shallow views. In many cultures, elders are seen as treasures, the keepers of memory, wisdom, and tradition. Western society sometimes forgets this truth, but it does not erase it. Each of us, in how we carry ourselves, can restore that respect. By telling our stories, sharing our lessons, and embracing who we are, we demand to be seen for our worth. And perhaps the greatest victory over stigma is not proving others wrong, but proving to ourselves that we are enough. When we stop measuring ourselves by society's shallow standards, we discover a deeper kind of pride. Pride in endurance, in growth, in survival. Pride in the fact that we have lived through storms and still stand strong. So yes, society may underestimate us, but every time we rise above, we reclaim our dignity. We prove that age is not a limitation, but a crown. And in doing so, we leave a message for those who will come after us. Do not fear aging, respect it, for within it lies the true measure of strength, wisdom, and value. Number 8, facing pain and physical loss. Pain is a constant companion for many, a joint that aches, a body that tires easily. These struggles are real. Yet they teach endurance, compassion for ourselves, and gratitude for the movement, breath, and life we still have. One of the realities of aging is the presence of pain. It may begin quietly, a stiff knee in the morning, a back that complains after sitting too long, or the fatigue that arrives sooner than it once did. Over time, these aches become familiar companions, reminders that our bodies have carried us through many years, and now they bear the marks of that journey. For many, physical pain can feel like a thief. It steals energy, limits freedom, and forces us to measure each activity against how much it might hurt. A simple walk to the park may require planning. Even joyful activities like gardening or dancing can become shadowed by discomfort. This loss of physical ease can be disheartening. Yet pain also teaches us resilience. Every day that we rise and move forward despite discomfort is an act of courage. Pain demands adaptation, creativity, and patience. It forces us to slow down, but in slowing, we often discover a new rhythm of life, one that values presence over speed, intention over habit. Physical loss can also awaken compassion for ourselves. In our younger years, we often push our bodies without thought, taking energy and mobility for granted. But aging reminds us to treat ourselves with kindness. We learn to listen, to rest, to accept that caring for our body is not weakness, but wisdom. There is also a quiet gratitude hidden within pain. Each time we move despite an ache, each breath that comes easily, each step we take without assistance becomes a gift. Pain reminds us of what we still can do, and in that recognition, even the smallest actions, stretching, walking, lifting a cup of tea, become victories worth celebrating. Of course, the emotional weight of pain can be heavy. It is not only the body that suffers, but also the spirit. Constant discomfort can bring frustration, sadness, even despair. But here too lies an opportunity to reach out, to connect, to share our struggles with others. In doing so, we realize we are not alone, and support becomes a powerful form of healing. Pain also teaches empathy. Living with physical limitations allows us to better understand the struggles of others. It softens us, deepens our compassion, and makes us more attentive to the hidden battles people around us might face. In this way, pain becomes not only personal, but universal, a bridge that connects us to humanity. And while the body may weaken, the spirit can grow stronger. Many discover that physical loss sharpens inner strength, the courage to endure, the wisdom to adapt, the grace to accept. These are forms of strength far more powerful than physical force. They are the strengths that inspire others, especially younger generations who may one day walk the same path. Spiritual and reflective practices can also transform pain into purpose. For some, prayer or meditation provides relief. For others, creative expression, writing, painting, music, becomes a way to transcend the limits of the body. In these practices, pain is no longer just suffering, it becomes fuel for meaning and depth. In the end, pain and physical loss do not define who we are. They are simply part of the human experience, part of the story our bodies tell as they carry us through life. What truly defines us is how we respond, with endurance, with compassion, and with gratitude for each day we are given. Pain may accompany us, but it cannot diminish the strength of the spirit within. Number 9, appreciating small moments. A simple sunrise, a warm cup of tea, a quiet conversation. These moments gain deeper meaning with age. The struggles we face make us notice beauty in ways we never did before. As we age, life often slows down in ways we once resisted. What used to feel like waiting or boredom now becomes an invitation to notice the details around us. The first rays of morning sunlight, the gentle chirping of birds, the smell of fresh coffee brewing. These once overlooked moments suddenly feel precious. Small moments carry profound significance because they are fleeting. When health, energy, or opportunities are limited, we realize that every interaction, every sensory experience, every simple pleasure is a gift. A smile from a loved one, the sound of laughter echoing through the house, or a phone call from an old friend can illuminate an entire day. Aging teaches us patience, and with patience comes awareness. We begin to slow down, to truly taste life rather than rushing past it. Each sip of tea, each quiet walk, each gentle breeze against the skin becomes a meditation. A reminder that life is built from countless small, interconnected moments. The struggles of aging, the aches, the losses, the limitations also sharpen our sensitivity. We recognize beauty because we have experienced pain. We cherish companionship because we have felt loneliness. We savor quiet moments because they contrast with times of chaos and uncertainty. This heightened perception transforms the ordinary into something extraordinary. Small rituals gain new meaning. A morning stretch, tending a garden, reading a favorite book, or watching the sunset becomes more than routine. They are affirmations of life itself. Through these rituals, we celebrate resilience and presence, recognizing that joy often does not come from grand gestures, but from attention and gratitude. Even ordinary conversations acquire depth. Talking with a friend, sharing memories with family, or exchanging a kind word with a stranger is no longer trivial. Each dialogue becomes a connection, a chance to exchange wisdom, and a moment to affirm that human bonds grow richer with time. In appreciating small moments, we learn humility. We realize that life's greatest treasures are not material or monumental, but subtle and intimate. The quiet laughter of grandchildren, the warmth of sunlight on our skin, or the comforting weight of a blanket. These become reminders that life is generous, even in its simplest forms. Gratitude deepens as we notice these moments. We begin to pause before rushing, to observe instead of reacting, to savor rather than take for granted. This gratitude is not fleeting. It becomes a mindset, a lens through which the world appears more vivid, more loving, and more precious. Aging teaches us that life's beauty is cumulative. Every small moment appreciated adds to the richness of existence. Joy is no longer measured by extravagance, but by the cumulative depth of these tiny, meaningful experiences. The struggles we endure make us recognize their worth more acutely than ever before. Ultimately, appreciating small moments transforms how we live. It is a quiet rebellion against the speed of the world, a conscious choice to notice, to savor and to cherish. Through this lens, even the most ordinary day can be extraordinary, and aging becomes not a limitation, but a heightened awareness of life's delicate and beautiful details. Number 10, celebrating wisdom and inner strength. And finally, the culmination of all struggles is strength, not just physical, not just mental, but inner strength, a strength born from experience, from perseverance, from the unseen battles that have shaped who we are today. This is the gift of aging. The journey of aging is marked by countless challenges, loss, pain, loneliness, and the inevitable passage of time. But through each trial, we acquire a kind of strength that cannot be measured by muscles, speed, or accomplishments. This inner strength is subtle, profound, and enduring. Inner strength is built from perseverance. Every difficulty overcome, every day lived despite obstacles, adds layers to our resilience. The aches of the body, the disappointments of life, and the moments of doubt all contribute to a quiet fortitude, a calm assurance that we can endure and adapt. Wisdom and strength often grow together. Experience teaches us lessons that youth cannot grasp: the importance of patience, the value of empathy, and the understanding that life is not about control but about navigation. Each choice made, each mistake learned from, each moment reflected upon, contributes to this deep reservoir of insight. Inner strength also manifests in compassion. Having faced struggles ourselves, we are more capable of understanding others' pain. We listen with empathy, respond with kindness, and guide without judgment. This emotional power, born of life's hardships, is a treasure that cannot be taken or diminished. Celebrating this strength means recognizing the battles no one saw, the quiet mornings of reflection, the nights spent worrying for loved ones, the moments of courage in the face of physical or emotional pain. These are the victories of aging, invisible yet immensely significant. Strength is also about acceptance. As our lives evolve, we learn to embrace what cannot be changed while cherishing what still remains. This acceptance is not resignation, it is clarity. It allows us to focus energy on meaningful actions, relationships, and experiences rather than resisting the inevitable. Aging also offers the freedom to define strength on our own terms. It is no longer about proving ourselves to the world, but honoring ourselves. Whether through mentoring, creative expression, spiritual reflection, or simply living fully in the present, we celebrate a strength rooted in authenticity rather than performance. There is joy in recognizing this inner power. The knowledge that we have endured storms, overcome challenges, and still face each day with courage is empowering. It reminds us that life's trials are not merely obstacles. They are the foundation of character and the architecture of wisdom. The gift of inner strength extends beyond ourselves. It inspires younger generations, comforts those facing their own struggles, and transforms communities. By embodying courage, resilience, and wisdom, elders become beacons of hope and guidance, showing that life's later years can be rich with meaning and purpose. Ultimately, celebrating wisdom and inner strength is the true triumph of aging. Every struggle, every challenge, every quiet victory contributes to a life that is not merely lived, but fully understood and embraced. This strength, deep, enduring, and beautiful, is the legacy of a life that has faced hardship and emerged wiser, braver, and profoundly human. Thank you for watching. If you found this video valuable, share it with your loved ones, because even small actions can bring great happiness.